Hey there boys and girls, LikeSkillFigure here, and today we'll have part 2 of the Recon tutorial. This time we will checking out the long range sniping. First of all, we'll start out with a Recon job, which is of course spotting, just like I've said in the last video. Then we will take a closer look at the ballistics and aiming. After that we'll check out our class setup. And then we are going to learn something about hiding, the spots, where we will be hiding, and our movement on the battlefield. Last but not least, we'll also check out our gadgets and how we still can help our team while being really far away from the actual hotspots. And yeah, so let's get started. Like I've already said, I'm just going to tell you a Recon's job is spotting, so always spot, no matter what. It's the job of the Recon class. And we'll hop on to the next step, which will be the ballistics. So right here I have something, I haven't made it myself, but I sadly can't give credit to the person who did it, so I'm just going to leave the link below so you can check it out for yourself. This is a little calculator or a formula which will tell us how the ballistics are working. So this, I'm just going to read it out real quickly. This man appears to be 2 dots tall. On a 8x scope it means he appears to be 10 mils tall. If we assume this man is 1.7 meters tall, then we can calculate that he's actually 170 meters away. Our M40 bullet drop, 0.59 meters, and it's 590/170 mils equals 3.47. As one space between dots equals 5 mils, we need to adjust our aim pretty close, 0.7 dots up. If we aim like this, we should hit that man in the head. So it sounds really difficult, and it really is not easy to understand. So I'm not going over it because it would probably take up the whole time of the video, and which would end up like 30 minutes or so. But I'll leave the link below, or also here on the put an annotation so you can click on it if you want to check it out. It's really good, but it's also a lot of math, so you should take a look at it and try it out. But I have a little easier thing for you right now. So the next picture is also shown on the side, on the same side which I got the previous picture from, and I really recommend you checking it out. So right here you can see the bullet drop. So for each line we will see the bullet drop of all the sniper rifles, the bolt actions and the semi-automatics, also including the ones from back to Sharkoon, so the L96 and the QBU-88, which is listed as Q88 right here. So for long range sniping I recommend the M98B, which we'll be checking out in a class setup just in a few seconds. But for now, with a 12x zoom scope equipped, the bullet will drop after 570 meters to the first line and after 1206 meters to the second line. So the longest shot without a helicopter involved I've seen was 1800 meters, and this was on Kark Island, so everyone was on the edge of the map basically, so it was set up. And most likely you won't encounter these shots too often, so for long range sniping 500 to 1000 meters will be your common range. And also for judging the range you could use the soft lamp, because it will show you the meters, but I guess the range is too short, so you will just really have to get a few shots so you will know the distances, and then you're good, then you're fine, and you can start out with your long range sniping career. So this is basically really a really helpful tool or gadget for you, this little picture. And right here I have some shots which will basically confirm the distances on the lines. So I basically aimed with the first line and it was around 500 meters, so this was about right. You always have to keep in mind that this can't be too accurate, because you always have like a little difference in the distance, and also on like the the lines which appear to be quite large after a longer distance, so the targets seem to be really small. And here we have the another longer headshot. Oh yes, another thing, you should always go for headshots if you're a long-range sniper. Body shots won't benefit or won't do you any good, because you will have to get a second shot. However, now we will check out our class setup. So right here, I'm just going to show you the loadout screen, and as I've already said, you should use the M98B since it has the fused bullet drop of all the bolt action sniper rifles, and it always will be a one-shot hit kill into the head, which we will be aiming as a long-range sniper. Always use the 12x zoom scope because you want to be really close, since our targets appear to be really small after these really long distances. Another important thing would be the bipod, since you won't have to steady your scope, so you won't have to hold your breath, which makes it easier too, which works better most of the time. So for the third slot, there's basically nothing which would help for long-range sniping, so we'll just leave it at that. For a gadget, always use the SOFLAM, secondary G18 or .44 Magnum, radio beacon, and specialization, whatever your squad will benefit from. So another important thing will be the hiding, or better said, our appearance, so the camo. You should also always make your camo fit your area. So for example, in Caspian Border you want the jungle pattern right here, the desert khaki on Kark Island for example, and for the Spec Ops in more urban things like Operation Metro or Grand Bazaar. So for our spots, you always want to have a good vantage point up cranes, buildings or mountains, but please never be right on top of it. You want to be a little to the side or between hills, and if you're shooting out of a building, always make sure that your barrel won't be out of the window, so you will have to take a step back so your enemies won't spot you too easily. And that's yeah, that will be the spots. There are lots of other spots, but you'll just get the idea. You have to be high up for a good position so you can get some clear shots. So now for our gadgets, like I've already said, the SOFLAM is heavily underused, so I really recommend you using it, since you're most of the time spotting anyways with the normal spot function. You could also use the MAV, but since you're spotting through your scope, this won't be too good for you and your team. So use the SOFLAM. It's heavily underused, but it's real powerful, and it since you're up on a mountain or something else, or yeah, something like that, the SOFLAM will have a really good position. Right here I have another little clip for you where you can see that the SOFLAM will do you good and also give you points. Because you won't have to be in it, it will just do all the work for you while you can snipe your long-range things. So right here I get some points for having designated target which get blown away by a javelin or something. And that's basically the long-range sniping tutorial. Check out the charts I've showed you and the pictures, and also the website. There are all the stuff and things you want to know about the bullet drop per meter. There's also for the 8x scope, which I wouldn't recommend for long-range sniping, but if you're interested in it, even though it's basically the same with the 12x. Okay, the next part 3, will be the aggressive recon playstyle. So check that out. There will also be a link right here and also down below, and also on the first part video, so check it out. But that's basically all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's go figure out.